Yo, what's going on, y'all? DFJ Hoops here, back again with another live stream. Oh my goodness. As y'all come in, please make sure you hit the like button. If you're not sub to the channel, subscribe to the channel, DFJ Hoops. Let's not waste any more time. Let's just talk about this. Salute to the guys in the building. Salute to my guy, One Mike. Salute to Rap Guy Reloaded. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Yeah, Mike already in here with the jokes. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. But yeah, let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into the the Philadelphia 76ers do it again. And yeah, put one in the chat if y'all can hear me. Rap guy, if y'all can hear me, put one in the chat. Mike, if you can hear me, put one in the chat. I don't want to do another live stream where ain't no sound. You feel me? So yeah. But the Philadelphia 76ers. All right, appreciate it. The Philadelphia 76ers do it again. They pick up another loss against a terrible team, and this makes it 5 games in a row where they have lost heading into the All-Star break. Now, I did a live stream yesterday, which I was saying that they were supposed to win, right? We were saying they were supposed to win, and I did also say that I wouldn't be surprised if they lost that game because they've been terrible. But let's talk about the game and things that happened. So right before tip off, or right after I got off the live stream, I got a notification that Tyrese Maxey would not be playing because he had knee contusion. Right, he had knee contusion, so they wanted to rest him. Right, so he wasn't going to be playing, and then we already know that Joel Embiid is not going to be playing back to backs. Right, because he hasn't played in back to back games this season. So that gave the opportunity for Paul George to finally be the first or second option on this team and in this game because no Joel Embiid, no Tyrese Maxey. He's going to have all the opportunities in the world. He's going to have all the shots in the world to be the leader of this team and help will this team to a victory. And he absolutely failed by doing that in this game. He only delivered 2 points for the Sixers, going 1 for 7 from the field, and the Sixers completely lost this game and got embarrassed by the Brooklyn Nets, and this was not even funny. Now, this game started off. I mean, the Sixers always start off games slow. Why, I don't know. But I thought this was a game where Paul George should have asserted himself, being aggressive from the start. Now, he was aggressive on defense. I'll give him that. Right. He was aggressive on defense. He was getting in passing lanes. He was poking the ball from players like Cam Johnson. Cam Thomas did not play, but Cam Johnson, he was trying to make it very, very difficult for Cam Johnson and then all these other players as well. Now, D'Angelo Russell, shout out to D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell was being very, very aggressive for Brooklyn, getting some of these easy opportunities, getting these easy shots up. And Quentin Grimes was trying to make his life very, very difficult, but he just got comfortable too early, and at that point, he just had it going. And once you get it going, it's very, very difficult to stop somebody who is in rhythm, right? So, shout out to him. But for the Sixers, newly acquired Quentin Grimes was being aggressive. Jared Butler was being aggressive, and Quentin Grimes really showed. He's showing us that he can. Like I said the last time, he's showing us that he could be a very good contributor on any team, right? Regardless of a contender or not a contender, like his playing style, how aggressive he was, looking for his shots, and also playing defense. Even though he did get cooked, right? He did show that effort on defense, right? He showed that effort on defense, and that's at this point, I think that's all you could ask for when your other players are not when your best player is not being aggressive. If Quentin Grimes is being aggressive, you absolutely take that, right? And he was aggressive from the start, looking for his shots. And PG in the first half did make some plays for him, right? I'll give him that. But one thing that really pissed me off with Paul George is he was passing up shots, right? Every time somebody picked him up on defense and he had to go through contact to finish, he did not want any parts of it. So instead, he decided to pass it off to a Kelly Oubre or pass it to a Quentin Grimes or pass it to somebody else, a Jared Butler, right? He didn't want no parts of that Brooklyn Nets defense and physicality. And it makes me question, is Paul George mentally weak? Because we always hear that Joel Embiid is mentally weak, right? That's one of the biggest one of the biggest narratives out there that he's mentally weak and he doesn't want to go through the grind and this and that and the third. But you got Paul George over here against a terrible team, the Brooklyn Nets, and he absolutely showed you that he wanted no parts of this team. Defensively, physicality, he wanted no parts of this team, right? In the first half, Paul George finished with 0 points, 0 for 3 from the field, right? 0 for 3 from the field, passing up shots. Now, they did double team him sometimes, right? They did double team him sometimes. They tried to get the ball out of his hands, but the assertiveness was not there. The aggressiveness was not there. The will to put the ball in the basket was not there. His pride was not there, right? Your pride as a man and as a hooper was unavailable, because sometimes when defenders try to stop you, sometimes as the offensive player, you have to be aggressive and say to yourself that this defender is not going to stop me, and I'm going to get to every spot that I want on the floor in order to help my team win games, right? But that will to get it done was not seen from Paul George. That will to get it done was not seen from Paul George. That will that he's going to get it done for this team and help this team win the game, it was just not there, right? It was just not there. And I don't want to hear any excuses about him dealing with a pinky finger injury or a groin injury. Bro, everybody's hurt at this point in the season. Maxey's hurt. Embiid is hurt. Everybody's dealing with some type of injury. So we don't want to hear no excuses, right? We don't want to hear no excuses. Now, I'm gonna get to Paul George at the end, right? This is just the beginning of it, right? I'm gonna get to PG at the end. But in the first quarter, like I said, D'Angelo Russell being aggressive. D'Lo finished with 14 points in the first quarter by himself. He got some threes up, had some good drives and made some tough shots over Quentin Grimes, right? So those are shots that you live with it, right? It was a tough shot. He was able to make that tough shot. Okay, you just live with it. But the aggressiveness was there, and that's something that I really love to see from Quentin Grimes, from Kelly Oubre and Jared Butler. And then you had Justin Edwards also coming off the bench, doing what he was doing. I think he finished with about 13 or 14 points, being aggressive, had a strong drive downhill where he finished very, very strong with a dunk. And I was really happy to see that, because sometimes, some of these players, they get these pathways to the basket and they don't go up strong. They don't finish strong, right? An easy example was Jared Butler. Jared Butler had some plays where he went up very, very he didn't go up strong, and then Nick Claxton ended up blocking him. I think Nick Claxton had like 4 blocks in this game, right? Nick Claxton is a very, very good rim protector, very, very good defender around the rim, right? People don't really give him enough credit for that, but I think Nick Claxton is definitely one of the best young defenders in the league as a rim protector, right? My bad. He had 5 blocks in this game, right? 5 blocks. So that was showing you that anything that was coming around the rim, that was any weak stuff, he was just getting it out the way, right? But Justin Edwards finishing so strong around the basket, that was very, very good. And, Justin Edwards, Kelly Oubre, Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes finished this game with 30 points. They really willed the Sixer team. They gave the Sixer team everything they needed in the first half, right? While Paul George was he looked disinterested out there. He wanted no parts of the Brooklyn Nets, right? He wanted no parts of them offensively. He didn't want to go through no physicality. He didn't want to get physical with them, right? He shied away from contact and passed the ball almost every single time as soon as they were trying to get physical with him, right? But Kelly Oubre Kelly Oubre, like I said, he plays with effort every single time, and he is willing to go downhill. He's willing to play through contact. He's willing to finish very, very strongly around the rim, and sometimes get to the free throw line. But sometimes one thing you don't want from Kelly Oubre, and I always say this, is that sometimes when he drives, he doesn't look for his other guys, right? So sometimes he might try to finish over 2 or 3 guys in the paint, which is always a terrible thing to do, because your teammates are going to be open in situations like that. But Kelly Oubre finishing with a season high 30 points, being aggressive the whole entire night. That showed you that he really wanted to win this game, right? He really wanted to win this game. Quentin Grimes, these other guys, they really wanted to win the game, but it was up to the best player on the team, the quote-unquote first option, Paul George, to step up and put this game away and he wanted no parts of it. But in the first quarter, it was a very very good game, very competitive, very very back and forth. Brooklyn was given everything they had. Cam Johnson did not really have a good game, but he had stretches where he was very very effective, going along with D'Angelo Russell, and then they had some guys coming off the bench as well. I think his name is Trandon Watford. Yeah, Trandon Watford came off the bench. Was a huge spark off the bench. Had some tough drives around the basket, finishing through contact, going up against Andre Drummond and Adem Bona. And he was showing no signs of being scared, no signs of shying away from physicality. He was just playing his game, right? He was just playing his game, and he was just being aggressive the whole entire night, right? And I think it started with D'Angelo Russell. It started with D'Lo, him being aggressive and him trying to look for shots and also create for other guys as well. That's where it started. I think D'Lo finished with 5 assists in this game. You had Cam Johnson also giving you 3 assists. I think the Sixers they had more assists than the Brooklyn Nets, right? They had more assists than the Brooklyn Nets, but Brooklyn just they play with a different kind of energy, where D'Lo came out swinging, being aggressive from the start. And that's the one thing that you really needed from your best player, Paul George, on this floor. And he absolutely did not want any parts of the Brooklyn Nets. And as a result, he got outplayed by almost everybody that stepped on the floor, to be honest with you, right? Everybody that stepped, I mean, not everybody, but most of the players that stepped on the floor for the Sixers contributed more than what Paul George did, right? It was a complete embarrassment. It was a complete embarrassment. And to finish with 2 points in this game and only taking 7 shots, that's even more embarrassing than anything else. But, the Sixers, they head into the second quarter. Brooklyn starts it off on a 14-7 run, right? They start off with a 14-7 run where I think D'Lo was on the bench at that point, and they had guys coming off the bench. This guy, the center, Day'Ron Sharp, he was getting almost every he was getting almost every rebound, right? Getting almost every rebound, offensively, defensively, kicking it out, creating out second chance opportunities, and also going back up because the Sixers were too small because they had Yabusele guarding them, and Yabusele is only like 6'7", 6'8", and Day'Ron Sharp is 6'9", 6'10". So, and he's a relentless rebounder, right? That's a guy who I really in the past I wanted on this team. I think in the offseason I was campaigning for Day'Ron Sharp because he's a very relentless rebounder. But one thing that's a concern is that he's very very injury prone, right? He's very very injury prone. Barely stays on the court. I don't know how many games he's played this season, but I don't think he has played enough games so far this year, right? But he's a very, very good rebounder, and he rebounds through traffic very, 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 very well, right? He's a big body, so you always have to keep a body on him to prevent him from getting these offensive rebounds, right? And if you've watched the Sixers this season, offensive rebounds have really, really been something that's killing the Sixer team almost every game, right? They give up a ton of offensive rebounds, and guess what? The other team ends up capitalizing off those offensive rebounds. But yeah, Brooklyn goes on a 14-7 run, and then Adem Bona checks in. Adem Bona is very, very very, very active, very, very physical. He's relentless as well, but he's more relentless in rim protecting rather than getting rebounds. Like some people like to block shots and others like to go for rebounds, and it's very very difficult when you really need somebody who can get rebounds, but you got Adem Bona who is trying to rim protect, but there's nobody else boxing the other players to prevent them from getting these offensive rebounds. And Brooklyn has, they got some good athletes on the team, have some athletic guys, right? Almost everybody, a lot of guys on there are very, 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 very athletic. Jalen Wilson, Trendon Watford, Day'Ron Sharp is, somewhat athletic, and these guys they chase offensive rebounds. They get on the glass, but Adem Bona checks in and he makes 2 instant mistakes. And I was saying to myself that Nick Nurse might yank him out the game because Nick Nurse doesn't really like playing young guys. And when you make some of these mistakes, that gives him enough reasons to take you out the game, right? He comes in, makes a bad pass, right? Comes in, makes a bad pass, and then on the offensive side of the floor, makes a bad pass, and then gets back on defense and picks up a foul. First defensive possession, picks up a foul. But Nick Nurse did not take him out. Nick Nurse still continued to play him, which I thought was good. And Brooklyn still was, it was still a back and forth game. Brooklyn was still scoring, and the Sixers at some point in the second quarter they went down by 10 plus points, right? With everybody on the floor, with Paul George on the floor, with all the other guys that they had, they were down by 10 points. Now, being down by 10 points is nothing because the NBA is a make or miss league. It's a game of runs. So being down by 10 plus points, that's not nothing. But the lack of aggressiveness from Paul George really, really hurt this team, right? It hurt this team. Now, I get it. He was trying to create opportunities sometimes for his teammates, but there were other times where he had opportunities to put his head down and try to, power his way to the basket, but he decided to pass it all the way to the wing to an open Andre Drummond for a three. Right? These were instances of him being passive, right? Passing it to Andre Drummond, who Paul George driving to the basket with a defender on him, in my opinion, is a much better open look than Andre Drummond shooting a three-pointer. Now, he's made a three-pointer or two this season, but I don't want Andre Drummond shooting threes. And I get it, Paul George trying to make the right play, but sometimes you just have to look for your own shots, right? Sometimes you just got to look for your own shots and be aggressive for yourself and assert yourself early on in the game. But Paul George did not do it, and ended up finishing the first half with 0 points, 0 for 3. I think all three of his shots were three-pointers. Two of them were spot up open threes that he missed, and the last one was a trailing three-pointer that he jacked up but missed because he didn't want to go to the basket and get physical with some of these Brooklyn Nets defenders, right? So in the first half, I think the Sixers were down by – they only put up like 54, 55 points, right? It was a low-scoring game, and the scoring wasn't really high. Yeah, 51 points by halftime, right? 51 points by halftime. That was so terrible. While Brooklyn, they were doing their thing, making shots and being aggressive the whole entire night. Now, the third frame, that's when PG, that's the only quarter where he tried to get aggressive. And salute to JS. Salute to JS in the building. He said PG doing cardio out there. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not even going to disagree with that, right? I'm not even going to disagree with that. He was doing cardio out there, right? He was doing cardio. But the third quarter starts, and PG wanted to be aggressive, right? He wanted to be aggressive. The first two plays, he tried to go to the basket. He finally got his first field goal in the game, right? First got his field goal in the game. But then all of a sudden, he stopped being aggressive. Now, defensively, he was very, very good defensively, like I said in the beginning, right? Trying to get steals, poking the ball loose, disrupting the offense, trying to disrupt the offense of the Brooklyn Nets. So I give him credit for that. But where we needed him the most was offensively. Where we needed him the most to be aggressive at was offensively. And that aggressiveness was just not there. And the Sixers ended up losing this game because of that, right? But, he started off the third trying to be aggressive, but then stop being aggressive. Now, this is where, you got to give blame to Nick Nurse, right? Now, Paul George deserves some of the blame, don't get me wrong, but Nick Nurse is also deserving of some blame, right? Where's the play calls at, right? Where are the play calls at? Where are you putting Paul George at on offense? Because there's no Joel Embiid, there's no Tyrese Maxey, and the Pull Up Basketball podcast was on the show, right? He was on the show and saying, and he was right, that they're putting him in the corner, and they're trying to use him as an off-ball shooter, as a spot-up shooter in the corner, right? With Joel Embiid and Maxey trying to do everything on offense, right? So this was a game where Nick Nurse was supposed to involve Paul George very, very much in the offense, right? And we didn't really see it, right? Now, like I said in the beginning, Brooklyn tried to get, they trapped him, they double teamed him, trying to blitz him, trying to get the ball out of his hands, right? They did that, right? And sometimes Paul George made the right play, and sometimes he turned the ball over, right? I think he picked up two turnovers Um, let me see. So yeah, he had 2 turnovers, not 3 turnovers, and 2 of them were off of double teams, right? Trying to make the pass, but the second person who came in for the trap made a good read and was able to intercept the pass. So we get it, but running plays through him and trying to find some open looks for him is something that we didn't really see in this game, right? We didn't really see this in this game, and that's where you got to blame the head coach, Nick Nurse. And I like Nick Nurse. I like Nick Nurse, but in this game right here, he absolutely deserves some blame. Now, other guys were aggressive. Don't get me wrong, but you really needed to get Paul George going, right? You really needed to get Paul George going, and we just did not see that, right? We just didn't see it, and I think we should definitely give Nick Nurse some of the blame, right? Absolutely. But Paul George started to be aggressive, but then later on stopped being aggressive, and then you got other guys like the Kelly Oubre's, the Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes had a very good game, where he tried to will the Sixers to victory, but at the end it was just too little, too late. At that point, the Sixers was just down by too many points because I think the last 3 possessions, he scored on those possessions, right? Made a defensive stop, and then turned those into points. But it was just too little, too late at that point. And Paul George, like I said, looked disinterested. Didn't want to have anything to do with nothing. All he just looked like he wanted it to be over with, so he can just get up out of there and just enjoy the rest of his night. Right? He didn't really care if he won or lost. He didn't really care if he put up a ton of points. He didn't care about any of that. Right? He just wanted to get the fuck up out of there. But let's talk about the third. Right? The third, Paul George, starts to get aggressive. Like I said, the Sixers try to get him going, and sometimes you have Kelly Oubre trying to give Paul trying to make Paul George trying to get him going, right, by not driving the ball as much, by passing it off to him so Paul George could get aggressive, but Paul George just gave it right back, right? He just gave it right back because he wanted nothing to do he wanted nothing to do with the defense, right? Wanted nothing to do with the defense. And then Kelly Oubre was like, okay, then if he don't want it, then shit, I'm gonna keep being aggressive. I'm gonna keep attacking. I'm gonna keep playing hard. I'm gonna keep trying to give the Sixer team a chance to win this game. And that's something that I really appreciated. Him, Quentin Grimes, and then Justin Edwards coming off the bench as well, doing what he was doing, shooting threes, making plays, right? But Brooklyn, as soon as the Sixers started to go on a run, Brooklyn was always able to make a huge shot. Right, they were always able to stop that run, by getting their guys going. And Training Watford was very, very amazing in that second half. Right, attacking the Sixers' interior defense because there's no shot blocker down there. And also putting pressure on the rim and also kicking it out and making plays. They made how many threes did Brooklyn make? Brooklyn made they made 8 threes. So D'Lo made 3 of them in the first half, and I think most of the rest of them came in the second half, where they really needed a bucket, and then they'll make a shot, or they'll miss, they'll get the offensive rebound, and guess what? They'll get the putback, right? And that most of those was coming from Nick Claxton and Day'Ron Sharpe. Now Nick Claxton finished this game with 13 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 blocks, right? So he had a pretty solid game, shooting 5 for 12. Didn't really wasn't really efficient. 5 for 12 from the field wasn't really efficient, but he got a lot of timely buckets that Brooklyn really needed, whether it was trying to stop a run or whether it's trying to you know build up the lead to double digits, right? So he really did everything for them offensively, and defensively. And you had, D'Lo also finishing this game with 22 points, was really, really huge for them in the first half. And in the second half, those other guys, they picked up the scoring and putting immense pressure on the Sixers interior defense. And the Sixers were just in a tough spot, right? They were just in a tough spot, going down by as many as 15 points, right? They were down by as many as 15 points, heading into the fourth. They tried to make a push every single time, but guess what? The defense was just not there. So they kept giving up buckets to kept giving up points to the Brooklyn Nets almost every single time. And they try to make a run, but Brooklyn will answer right back try to make a run. Brooklyn will answer right back because the interior defense, like I said, was not there, and the rebounding was not there. But Quentin Grimes, very, very aggressive in the second half for the Sixers, trying to make things happen. Him, Kelly Oubre, um, and I really liked Jared Butler as well. Right now, he wasn't really efficient, but he was still being aggressive, still trying to attack the interior defense and try to kick it out and make a play. He really did a lot of those, right? Getting in between the teeth of the defense, kicking it out, and trying to make a play. He did a lot of that, right? So, but he just didn't make shots. He didn't make enough shots, right? 0 for 4 from the three. Didn't really make shots. He was putting them up, but it just wasn't going in. Pause. But Brooklyn, responding with some timely buckets down the stretch. The Sixers had a chance, but they just could not capitalize. And what's funny is Brooklyn was trying to give them the game. Brooklyn was trying because the Brooklyn Nets had been tanking. They're not trying to win games. They're trying to be bad, but the Sixers just didn't want it, right? They just didn't want it. Paul George didn't want anything to do with the defense. Didn't want to be aggressive, looked disinterested. And as a result, the Sixers ended up losing this game. And as of right now, I think they have the same record with the Brooklyn Nets, probably 20 and 34. The Sixers are 14 games under 500, right? 14 games under 500, heading into the All-Star break. This is very, very tough for the Sixer team. And let me say this. The Pull Up Basketball Podcast, BJ, you should be ducking me, bro. Like real rap, you should be ducking me. You should be ducking me because you said on this show that Paul George has to be the first or second option. And you've said in the past that Joel Embiid only wants to play against terrible teams and pad his stats up, right? Wants to play against terrible teams and score 30 plus, 25 plus, and pad his stats up. And he's not getting his teammates involved as much as he should. He's not getting Paul George involved as much as he should. He's not getting his other guys involved as much as he should, which I agree with that point. I mean, sometimes there are some shots that he takes that I felt like it would have been much better to have passed it off to somebody else. Even though he's capable of making those shots, it would have been better if he had passed it off to somebody else. But to sit there and say that Paul George should be the first or second option and to finish this game with 2 points. Oh, he said drop the link. Oh, I got you, BJ. I got you. Got you right here. I got you. Drop the link right quick. Yeah, I just dropped the link. Yeah, salute to the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Y'all can go sub to his channel. The Pull Up Basketball Podcast talks everything basketball, but primarily a Clipper channel. And salute to the Clippers for winning last night against the was it the Utah Jazz? No, it was the Grizzlies. Yeah, salute to the Clippers. But to say that Paul George should be the first or second option in a game where there's no Joel Embiid, there's no Maxey, where he'll have all the opportunities in the world to prove that he's good enough or he wants to be a first or second option, and to finish this game with just 2 points. Oh, he said the Jazz beat the Lakers last. Oh, they did? I thought they won. Damn, that's scattered. But I saw that play where LeBron, I think he gathered and then left it on the floor and then picked it right back up. That was terrible. That was terrible. But yeah, we don't care about the Lakers. We don't care about the Lakers. But yeah, to say that Paul George should be the first or second option, and in a game with no Tyrese Maxey, no Joel Embiid, he'll have all the shots in the world. He proved to you that he doesn't want to be no first option, so he didn't even want to be aggressive. He didn't even want to be aggressive against this Brooklyn team. Now, Brooklyn, they got some good defensive pieces, but guess what? The Brooklyn Nets is a team that other players try to score a ton of points against because the defense is not that good. It's not that great, right? A little bit of physicality, then he's passing the ball off. A little bit of physicality, he's passing the ball off. Can't get past his defender, passing the ball off. And when he passes it, it's not like he's trying to relocate to establish another position to receive the ball. When he passes it off, he's not expecting to get it back. And this is what I've been seeing since January. And I'm not making this up. To start the season off, Paul George was playing good. I gave him a lot of credit for that. But as of late, there's a reason why Sixer fans really want him gone. And I'm not just making this up. I'm not. It's a reason why. But BJ, I dropped the link right here. I want you to hit the link and explain to me, like I'm 5 years old, how Paul George played against one of the worst teams in the NBA and only scored 2 points against them. When if that was Joel Embiid, because you said Joel Embiid plays against these weak teams and scores all these points, well, that proves that stat pattern isn't even that easy because Paul George can even score double digits against the Brooklyn Nets. But what's good, BJ? What's good? You still there? Yo. Yeah, I think you're muted. Yo, can you hear me?
Yo,
What's good, BJ?
can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. So if you can hear me loud and clear. So what's the title of the topic of 2 points from Paul George last night? All right.
Correct.
So what happened last night? Go ahead.
What do you mean what happened last night? The Sixers lost, and Paul George proved that he can be no first or
I'm
second option.
going to hear what you.
Did you hear me?
Nah. Say I couldn't hear a word. Say it again.
The Sixers lost the game, and Paul George proved why he cannot be a first or second option. That's what
Is this
happened in a nutshell.
so? This is what it is. This is what that he can't prove to be a first second option off this game.
Yes.
Okay. RJ, what seed is the Brooklyn Nets?
Before we played them, there was 14 seed.
Okay. Do you remember the first game they played Brooklyn? What Paul George? How much he played? What did he do?
No, I don't remember that.
Okay, I'm gonna refresh your memory. Can you kindly put to the audience? Go to the stats against Brooklyn that last the first time they played them.
Did he play against them?
Yeah, they played twice. This is their second time playing.
Now
Can
I'm
you
asking, did
kindly?
Paul George play against them? Did he play that game?
That's why yeah, he did. So I would like for you to go to the screen, go to ESPN, go to stats, go to his game log, and go pull up when he played the Brooklyn. That's the first game. It was about a month ago, and read off his stat line.
All right, say no more. So I got it right here. Brooklyn versus Philly. It was a blowout, 123-94. Paul George in that game finished with 17 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, going 6 of 14 from the field,
Okay.
and 3 of 9 from the 3-point line.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, same Brooklyn team. Did Maxey and Embiid play? I know the answer. I just want you to tell me.
Yeah, they did. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he's the third option that game, right?
Right.
Was that a good stat line?
Against Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It was.
Okay. So obviously he showed he can play against Brooklyn, right?
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now last night, did you hear the post game?
I didn't have to listen to the post game.
Of course you didn't.
Why would I listen?
Obviously,
Why should I listen to the post game?
because you would get more knowledge. That's why I'm telling you. You need to go
BJ,
listen
what
to
more
the post.
knowledge can I get from aside from watching the
You're
game?
posting
I
a
saw how he
you're
performed
posting a
like.
video. You're posting a video, bro. I think you're trying to clout. This
Trying to clout.
you're posting a video about somebody getting 2 points against the Brooklyn Nets team, who's the 14th seed in the whole Eastern Conference. And
That's what
this
he
is supposed to
did.
show me he ain't supposed to be a second option on this team.
BJ, he finished the game with 2 points.
Off of a hurt finger. He's playing
BJ,
hurt,
I don't want to
Andre.
hear that because you don't give Embiid that same excuse. No, we're not trying to
Because
hear that.
I'm Embiid. No. Embiid is out there chucking up shots, and I can't tell if he's hurt or not. He hasn't came out and said he's hurt. He's hurt 1 minute. He's in the game next minute. He feels fine. You don't know what's going on with him. The dude
BJ,
obviously is playing through an injury. And now if he didn't play last night, it would be like, oh, he don't want to play. But if he does play, oh, he got to play. So it's either way with these players. That's why I tell people, either way with these players, when they play and they play through an injury and they play like shit, oh, they got to play better. But if they don't play, oh, they're being soft. So
but
if he
BJ,
had
that's
sat
the
out
same
last
standard
night,
you
if he had
hold.
sat out last night the game where he shouldn't have been playing, oh, look at him, he don't want to play.
But BJ, this is the same standard you hold. You hold Joel Embiid to when he
No, I
played.
do not.
You do when he played
Joel
against
Embiid, I can't tell if he's hurt. I can't
BJ.
tell when
He's
he's hurt,
feeling.
and that's what Dom came and told you yesterday. The Sixers organization don't even tell you when he's hurt.
BJ, the whole season he's dealing with the knee. He's dealing with the knee issue. That's why he hasn't played in back-to-back games. We don't need the Sixers to tell us that Joel Embiid is hurt. We already know that. We see him hobbling on the court.
No. So if he's hurt, and Joel Embiid is not, he comes through the season at the beginning of the season and he doesn't play. He's not ready to come back. He comes back onto the court and said he's fully ready. So he obviously was feeling fine. He comes back out the lineup. He ain't feeling fine. He goes into the, so it's like you don't know.
Wait, when you say he was feeling fine?
When you told me when he came back for that 7-game stretch or whatever, in December, I asked you why did he come back? You said his knee was feeling fine.
Yeah, the swelling went. Okay, yeah, the swelling went down.
Okay. So he wasn't hurt. So
BJ, he's still hurt, but the swelling is not like the swelling went down, so it's something that he could tolerate and play games on.
Okay. So was he hurt or was he hurt? Because you told me he wasn't hurt.
He was hurt, but he was able to push through it because the swelling was not preventing him not to do so.
Gotcha. Perfect. So the swelling wasn't that bad. It was there, but it wasn't bad enough for him to play.
Right.
Gotcha. That's what you were telling me. Okay, let's stick to that. Maxey had 5 points the other night. Does that prove he can't be the first option on this team?
That was just one game.
Okay, so this was just one game he had.
BJ, he's had multiple games scoring single digits. What are you talking about?
He hasn't had a game he scored 2 fucking points, Andre.
BJ, 2 points. He had another game where he scored 9. He's had multiple games scoring 9.
I saw Maxey score 8 points in the game. I've seen fucking James Harden score 5 points in the game. I've seen fucking Kawhi Leonard score 8 points. Every player has had single digits.
Okay,
but
BJ,
are you looking at the other aspects of the game?
BJ, let's put the points aside. When you watched that game last night, did he prove to you that he really wanted to establish himself and get aggressive and put points on the board?
He just told you in the press conference, Andre.
Yeah, I want to hear that shit, bro. When Embiid is hurt,
you can't come to me and make a case and you didn't even watch the goddamn post game.
BJ, I didn't have to watch the post game because he played like trash. That's making excuses.
He played offensively shooting the ball like trash. The goddamn coach came out and said the same thing. He's playing through an injury. The injury that he just got, you know how long that injury is supposed to take to heal? 3 goddamn months.
BJ, that's a fucking pinky finger injury, bro. What are you talking about?
It's an extensive exterior injury.
But BJ, when Embiid is hurt, dealing with the knee injury, you don't give him that same excuse.
Because he doesn't say anything, Andre. He doesn't tell you when he's hurt. He doesn't tell you. The dude,
because he's not trying to make excuses. He's making excuses.
He never comes out and said he's hurt. He always just says, "Oh, I'm good now. I'm not good the next." You don't even see him. Oh, I'm feeling a certain type of way. The organization speaks for him.
BJ, because he's not trying to make excuses. That's why he's not telling you.
Is it an excuse or is it an explanation? If a reporter asks me, "Hey," and you didn't even go through what the reporter asked. He asked him a damn question. He said, "Yo, is it something that's going on with your hand? Is it something that you're feeling right now?" And he said, "I'm just gonna get myself back into full condition, and I'm gonna be all right." That's what the damn reporter asked him. He didn't just come out and say, "Hey, my hand is hurt, I can't play." You didn't even read the goddamn report to see what the reporter asked him. That was a question. They asked him a goddamn question, and he responded to the question.
BJ, all you doing is making excuses for.
No, all I'm doing is breaking down the narratives you keep putting out here, man.
It's not a narrative. We watched him out there play. He didn't want. He looked disinterested. He wanted no parts to do with the defense. He didn't want to get physical with them.
Defensively, he had fucking 3 steals and he had 2 blocks.
BJ, I'm talking about him going up against Brooklyn's defense. He didn't want to get physical with them. Anytime they got physical with them, guess what? He just passed it off because he didn't want
to. Brooklyn's defense is what stopped him.
Clearly, yes, because he didn't want nothing to do with it.
So what happened the first game he played against Brooklyn?
Because Embiid and what you call it, Joel Embiid.
Don't start stuttering.
Hold on. Joel Embiid and Maxey were on the court, so it made it much easier for him.
He don't need Embiid, bro. It's fucking Brooklyn. It's the Brooklyn Nets. They suck. The Brooklyn Nets are nobody. They trash. I can see if it was a competitive team that he was having to go up against. Brooklyn is fucking sorry. They're trying to tank. They're nobodies.
DJ, you're making this even worse. They're worse, and he finished that game with just 2 points against them.
It's a reason that he played like that, man. He's not even able to get. It's clear. Even the last 5 games, he's came back from that injury. You can clearly see his stats have been resolved around the injury. I'm not making excuses for him. I'm saying if you look at the damn stats, before he got back from this injury, he saw 25 points against Cleveland. You saw 25 points against the Orlando Magic. You saw 30. You saw all those performances before the damn hand injury. Pull that up.
BJ.
Pull up the numbers before he got injured.
BJ. He had an opportunity to prove to us that he can be the first option. And fuck the points. I'm not even talking about the points.
What are you talking about? You said the title reads Paul George scores 2 points. So what are we talking about? It has to be the points.
No, I didn't put the points in there. But BJ, did he show you any signs in last night's game that he is willing to be a first or second option? Did he show you?
Bro, I just told you, bro. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you what the dude said. That obviously is something physically he's not saying. He didn't say nothing all this time until last night. And there was a report somebody asked him. They obviously saw something. Hey, why are you scoring 2 points and 1 for 7 from the field? It's not even the points. He didn't even attempt to shoot. Dude had 3 shot attempts in the first half.
BJ, that's what I'm trying to tell you. He don't want to be no first or second option. He don't care about being the first or second option. He just want to go out there and have fun. He's playing this game like he's playing at the YMCA. He don't care about being the first.
What are his numbers against teams against good? What did he play against good top quality teams? So none of those those are the performances he's had against great teams, better teams than Brooklyn. None of that stuff matters. It's just about a team last night against Brooklyn where he went and played through an injury, which he probably should have been sitting out, and he played bad offensively, scoring and shooting the ball. That is supposed to prove that he's not supposed to be a first, second option.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Andre. I don't know what to even
BJ,
say.
2 points against the worst team in the league. That's on it. You can't make any excuses for that.
And you said,
hold on, BJ. You said that Joel Embiid only wants to play against terrible teams and pad his stats up. So why can't Joel?
Yeah. That's
so
all
why
he wants to do.
The same thing.
I don't need somebody to prove to me to a bad team, because if he would have 25, 30 points healthy, he's like, oh, it's Brooklyn. It's a worse team. Why can he do that against? So it's always bullshit excuses. If he plays up against a good team and he plays very well, oh, let's see if he can do it again, be consistent. If he plays up against a bad team and he plays like he has 25, 30 points, oh, it's Brooklyn. But since the team was so bad and he played like shit against a bad team, it's all over the place. If he wouldn't have played last night and sat out, oh, look, he's soft, he don't want to play. But since he played through the injury, oh, he has to play better. Round and round we go.
BJ, since January this year, last month and this month, he's had a pattern. He's had a track record of being disinterested in games. Now, am I saying that he hasn't had good games? Yeah, sure. He's had good games against Cleveland, like you just brought it up. Finished with 30 points. Okay, cool. That's fine. But what about the other games where he looked disinterested? There's a reason why Sixer fans are going at him. It's not just me. It's just everybody else.
Sixer fans goes at everybody. Joel Embiid, they go at it. They went after James Harden, went after Tobias Harris. I don't listen to fans, Andre. You know this about me. There's really few people I even talk hoop with. Most fans don't know shit. They just emotional. I don't care what Sixer fans are talking. That's why they ain't won a championship since the 80s. What do the Sixer fans know about winning anything?
BJ,
and that's no disrespect, but I don't go by what fans' emotion is. I'm talking about strictly basketball. It's not even take Paul George out the equation. Any player that has a narrative on their name, Kawhi don't want to play he don't want to play. anybody has a narrative attached to it, I'm going to expound on that narrative. I don't care who it is. Most people, if they actually played basketball, understand that you don't fucking have 25, 30 points a night, scoring 50, 40, 90% from the field. You don't do that. And anybody with common sense will understand when you ask a guy to come in as a third option, his production is not going to match what he did last year. That is what I told you yesterday. They signed this dude up to be a third option. And I looked at what you told me yesterday about KP. How many third options in the league are averaging 19, 20 points a game? The expectations that you have, are you really being realistic? What are you really expecting from a third option?
BJ, it's multiple third options that's producing much better than Paul George.
Who's scoring 20 points a game? That's what you asked me. Who's scoring
I'm
30
not
points, 20 points per game as a third option in the league?
okay, maybe not 20, but much better production than Paul George.
How? Where?
Hold on.
How?
Mikal Bridges is putting up better production than Paul George.
How much is Mikal Bridges scoring a game?
Look it up. It's more than Paul
you
George.
Look it up.
It's more than Paul George. I can tell you that.
Look it up. You look it up because you said it. You look it up. See, you're not even prepared for what I'm asking you. That's how I know what you're saying is narrative based. You don't even know what he's even averaging, but you up here saying he's scoring this, man. New York wants a different offense. Boston wants a different offense. Your center stops the ball, and he takes away opportunities from everybody to score. Yesterday, what I saw with Quentin Grimes, with Justin Edwards, with that, everybody was touching the rock. And that's what y'all need to do to win.
Kelly
Not Maxey and Embiid run the same fucking pick and roll time and time again, icing everybody out the offense. That's the offense y'all run. Y'all want an AAU off basketball type of offense. Y'all don't know how to fucking play in real sets. Everything is simply just transition play. Part of that's y'all coaching, but y'all don't know how to play basketball. That's one of y'all main issues. Y'all don't even know how to fucking play basketball. So how could you possibly have a good scheming for everybody to be successful? That's why Boston can have multiple guys scoring multiple points a game. Tobias Harris was he was the issue. You go to Detroit, he's automatically playing well again.
So, I got Big Tone. I got Big Tone in the bill. What's good, Big Tone?
What's up, son? First time on your stream. Good job.
What's up,
good job. What's up, nephew? What's up, BJ? What's happening, man?
Hey, man, school this.
BJ, hold on. BJ, hold on 1 second. Big Tone, this is your first time on the channel?
Yeah, live. You know, I've been in your chat, but I ain't been up on the channel.
All right, I'm gonna do one thing. I'm gonna put you in the boom boom room for all the times you put me in the boom boom room, motherfucker. Oh man, nah, Big Tone, I'm just
hey man, you better create one. I'm telling you, you better create a boom boom room. What was you saying, nephew? BJ, I ain't hear you before. You were saying something.
I think my main point is that the Sixers offense is trash, right? I don't think they play team basketball. I don't think they know how to really play basketball. And see, the thing is, like, people who just look at stats all the time. Yeah. And they think, stats is what, he had 25, 30. Like, you don't look at the eye test. Don't look at the scheming. Don't look at anything else but stats. Exactly. And it's just like, this is ruining the game of basketball. And this is why these narratives keep getting pushed out. And all I said, I'm not saying he had this 2 points last night. But obviously, there was a post game where I guess Paul George said that he's been dealing with his hand issue. But how are you affecting other parts of the game? Are you playing defense? Are you are you affecting other parts of the game? And none of that stuff matters. Oh, he had 2 points. He can't. I'm like, I can't. I can't do it with these dudes.
Exactly. Well, you know how I do about stats. I don't even F with people keep talking about stats because you can have two points. But yet you can cause your team to win the game by other things that you do on the court, defense or other things that you do. See, they're looking for everybody to score. Oh, Paul George supposed to average. Yes, okay, he's supposed to, as a $200 million man, get some points. But we know there's times at his age, y'all gave him the money. See, y'all give these old bum ass motherfuckers this money. Y'all do that. Your team, not y'all. Your team does this. Y'all get, and then when they give them the money, you're so shocked when they don't live up to the $200 million that you gave them. Well, I don't know why you're shocked, because the team that they came from showed you that they wasn't worth $200 million. And then again, just like nephew said, y'all go by these stats. This is crazy. You don't even have to look at the game. You don't look at the game. Somebody don't look at the game. They pull up this mute stat shit. Oh, God, he had 25 points. Boy, he really tore them up. No. Oh, he only had 2 points. He was garbage. No, bruh. You got to watch the game, man. That's why I just finished my short that I do now, do every morning about this. Oh man, all you'll do is blame the coach. Oh, you just blame the coach. Well, who the fuck fault is
it? Damn.
If the coach believe in a player, and I just on my short, if y'all go in and see it. If the coach believe in the player, I mean, obvious, he believes that player, can do it. Okay, he puts the player out there. Well, it ain't necessarily that the player is bad. It could be just that day. The player, for whatever reason, he ain't getting it done. It's just a bad day. Can't keep nobody in front of him. He can't score. In the plus minus, he's a negative. He bringing the team down. He throwing the chemistry off. Now, what do you do? Is it the player fault that he stay out there? Or is the motherfucking coach fault? If the coach leave him out there, knowing that it could be him, it could be 2, 3 players, knowing that rotation, that chemistry is not working for whatever reason. Like I say, it's bad games. The best of the best have bad games. Might not be often, but they have bad games. Then who do you blame to switch shit up?
To reel them back in.
The coach, obviously, yeah.
So if the coach leave them out there and you don't change your rotation, how the fuck you dumbass is gonna say, don't blame the coach? I am so through with many of you young motherfuckers today with this basketball. I swear to God, I am so through with you. Many of you motherfuckers, nephew, they don't know basketball, bro. They are stat whores. That's what they are. Statistician whores. That's what these young motherfuckers are today. They do not know basketball. Then, of course, you get the haters who just gonna say shit because they know it ticks you off. So we gotta separate them two, because they just say shit. Oh, you blaming the coach because they know that. I mean, most of them really don't know basketball. Then who do you blame? I mean, it's a simple question. Then who do you blame? If you know that player or 2 players out there just destroying it. Go ahead, nephew.
And watch this. Watch this. How about this? What about a dude that plays through injury? Right? Watch this. They play through an injury they ain't supposed to play through. They look like shit, but they would still complain if he didn't play. Said he was weak for not playing. So it's damned if he do or damned if he don't. He plays through the injury he's not supposed to be playing through.
Right.
And then he goes out there and plays like shit. Oh, he's washed. He's trash. He can't. I'm like the mind fuckery, man. I can't do it. I can't.
That's what they are. That's what they are. And that's the hypocrisy of these fake ass streamer analysts that they are. Okay.
You gonna call names out?
All of them. 90% of them. I ain't even got time to call names out. 90% of motherfuckers stream on both sides, even the beat writers. Even the beat writers, especially Miami beat writers, they're worse.
They are
Especially
terrible.
the Miami beat writers. They're the fucking worst. They
But
are the worst.
but BJ, here's the thing: when Paul George plays with Embiid and Maxey and takes less shots, what you say is Embiid is a ball stopper. Embiid is taken away from his teammates. You don't want to pass the
Excuse
ball.
me,
You
yo,
don't
I'm
want
sorry.
nobody else to shoot any shots. But when Paul George plays without Tyrese Maxey and Embiid, what's the excuse now? Because there's no Embiid, there's no
I
Maxey.
just told you, Andre.
BJ,
I
I'm
said
not
the.
trying
I
to hear
said,
the
hold on,
injury
hold
shit.
on,
I
hold on,
don't want
hold
to
on.
hear that
I
shit.
just told you, Andre. We have already established he's had a lot of good games, great games with Maxey. They were on a streak in December when they had all their players available. Right or wrong?
Okay, right.
Okay, so he already showed you. Now, he's done had 3 different injuries. He's had 2 hyperextensions to his leg, and he had now this injury to his hand. You can't control injuries in basketball. You can't control when you get hurt. And he comes back, he has to get back riled up, he has to be ramped up again to play. He goes out again with another injury. So he's dealing with that. Then, again, he has to adjust to playing with Embiid. But when he's playing with Maxey, you know good and damn well he's had a lot of good performances that y'all have either won or y'all been close to winning. I told you, and I stand by that. Embiid stops the ball where nobody else touches the motherfucking rock. That's his problem. He wants to score all his numbers and stats out. I'm gonna ask if Uncle agrees with it. Do you see him being more of a guy care about winning or his stats?
Oh no. I would just get ready to say no. He want MVP. He don't give a fuck about no winning. He don't give a fuck about his team. He wants his stats. Period. He won his stats because he was. That's why he won his MVP. He was MVP. He don't give a fuck about winning. What was that shit the other night? You got a wide open 3 to win the game. You a high percentage 3-4 shooter as a big guy. What the fuck was you doing? What was that shit?
I don't know, Unc. I still don't know.
So,
It is.
but for that instance, is Joel Embiid not injured? Can't you give him that excuse, BJ?
You say
I'm
if
being
he not
honest with
injured?
you. I don't know when he's. I don't know when he's injured, when
Oh
he's not. I
God.
don't. I don't know when he's injured and when he's not.
BJ, he's been injured the whole season, bro. Dealing with knee management. He missed the first 9 games because of knee management. He's been dealing with this the whole season. He's
See,
in and out the lineup for a reason. Go ahead, Big Bro.
here's my problem with all this injury shit. At some point, you gotta say now. Then you know your team needs you, but you know good to your team if you're out there. Uh, 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 One, worrying about your stats,
Uh-huh.
and 2, messing around out there playing injured, and you become a negative. You become a liability.
Liability, yeah. Or you could
So
cause
you
more.
know good.
Or you can
So
cause
look,
problems down
yeah,
the
right. So what you do? Look, man, what he should have done from the beginning of the season. Just take off until you 100. Even if you even beginning of season, you don't come back till after All-Star break. Well, that gives your bench and your teammates time to get their chemistry and plan because they know now you're not coming in. They know you're not going to be here. So now we can focus on what we had. And as you can see, I don't mean no harm, they play better without Embiid. Now, maybe that's just me. Maybe somebody sees something different. They play better without Embiid.
Yes.
So why not heal yourself? You know what? I'm taking off, even if it's just until after All-Star break. So what's that? That's 3-4 months. That's good healing. And then, but while you taking off, you condition yourself. You act like you want to play the goddamn game. You act like you care about the game and your teammates.
Yeah.
You don't just set off and go Philly cheese and all that bullshit. You condition yourself. You work out. You work to heal yourself. You get come on, man. You hundreds of millions of dollars. You get the right nutritious. You get the right goddamn workout team. While you sitting there waiting to come back.
Yeah. But hold on, because I got a Sixer fan on the show, Mike Sports Vibes. Y'all can go sub to his channel. What's good, Mike?
Okay.
Yo, you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Am I hearing excuses for Paul George and his injury? Why he only scored 2 points and Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey didn't play? Am I hearing excuses from Sixer fans?
I'm not a Sixer fan. I'm nice to meet you, man. Mike, I'm BJ. Pull up. I'm not a Sixer fan. I'm a basketball dude. I support the Clippers. This is the thing.
Okay. Break it down to me, man. Break it down to me. I'm trying to understand this.
This is okay. So you obviously a Sixer. I'm gonna ask you the question first. What were you expecting from Paul George coming in as a third option?
For a $211.6 million max contract, I'm expecting him to at least be like the third option, but can possibly be the second option on any given night, depending on if he's hot or cold, depending on how he plays.
Okay.
He could be a second option. I'm not expecting him to be a first option, but I'm expecting him to bring it on defense. I'm expecting him to at least get me at least 19 to 20 to 24 points a game. That's all I'm asking. I'm not expecting him to score 30 points a game or nothing crazy like that, or the high 20s, because you got Joel Embiid if he was healthy and you got Tyrese Maxey. But to give him excuses because he's hurt, this man didn't have Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid against the Nets, right? And Joel Embiid did not look. So why did he only shoot the ball 7 times? And another question is, Joel Embiid, when he plays hurt. We know the man's playing on one leg with a knee brace, and he's still giving you a triple double. He's still giving you 20+ points. What is these excuses for injuries? If you on that basketball court, it is what it is. You play through it, and you got to give more of an effort than 2 points in 37 minutes. 2 points in 37 minutes for $211 million, and this is the first season of his contract, and we giving this dude excuses, but we got Joel Embiid with knee issues, you know what I mean, with ankle issues, giving you 20 points. Even though he's not the same Joel Embiid, he's giving you more effort than Paul George. I'm trying to figure out these excuses.
Okay, but
why are we giving this dude excuses for 37 minutes for 2 points?
There's a difference between excuses, brother, and explanation.
That's excuses, man. That's not an explanation. That's an excuse.
I'm trying to tell. Hold on, let me tell you something. I'm taking it from a basketball standpoint. First of all, if you watched the game last night, you just said you answered your own question. He took 7 shots.
Why?
When you take, I'm gonna tell you.
It's a mindset thing, bro. You giving them excuses.
Okay. Listen to what I'm
saying. All right, go ahead. I'm gonna let you cook. Go ahead.
The Brooklyn Nets. So first of all, the Brooklyn Nets ain't no team that you gotta be fearful of. Number one.
Okay.
That the mindset shit that goes out the window for me. I can see if it was a top caliber team. Brooklyn is trash. They're the 4th team.
No, you're not understanding what I mean by mindset, but I'll let you go.
Go ahead, mindset. No, I understand what you're saying. You're saying mindset. He doesn't have. There was nothing. They're Brooklyn. There was no pressure in that game for him to have to show his mindset. They faced Brooklyn the first time. He had a very solid game. He had 17 points. He shot efficient from the field. He was efficient on defensive. He had an all-around great game.
Was Tyrese Maxey playing?
Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid were both playing.
Okay.
So they both, and I've made it very clear that PG and Embiid, that trio, Embiid takes away from PG. But when you have PG and Tyrese Maxey on the court together, there's many good games.
Takes away from PG.
Can I finish my point, bro?
Oh my gosh.
Let me finish my point. Can I finish my point?
Yeah. Go ahead.
PG and Tyrese Maxey then had a lot of great games together. He had multiple great games where they either won or they were close games. And you just said, I asked you a question. What did you expect from PG at coming into? You said either the second option. He was supposed to be the second option, and B was there. Against Cleveland, what happened last week when y'all faced Cleveland? And PG and Maxey were together. How much did PG have that game?
30.
How much did he have against the Orlando Magic when they faced up against Orlando Magic? They lost and PG fouled out. How much did he have?
I'm not sure.
He had 30 in that game. How much did he have against the Sacramento Kings? How much did he have against the Sacramento Kings in January last month where they lost and when the PG fouled out.
I'm not sure about that one either.
He had 30 plus in that game. How much did he have against the New York Knicks when they lost in overtime when Embiid was out?
Was it 27, 28?
27 points. How much did he? So I'm
Why is
going
the
by
mouth?
performances.
But what about other performances where he didn't come? He didn't come.
That's basketball, Andre. You're not gonna have a great performance every game.
So BJ,
you're not gonna be great every night. But I'm naming performances.
Hold on, I gotta come back in. I can't hear you. Hold on.
Yeah, he's at 2 games where he only finished the game with 2 points against Memphis, who Memphis is one of the best teams in the Western Conference. He finished that game with 2 points.
Memphis, he got hurt that game, Andre.
BJ, he played 17 minutes, bro.
He got hurt, bro. 17 minutes is not a huge. That's not even half the game. Okay,
well,
so this is part I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not gonna give. This is why I'm gonna give Paul George. I'm gonna give y'all some pushback. Is he disengaged at certain parts of the game? Yes. Is he a player that? Because I had him for 4 or 5 years. I know who he is. First of all, y'all expecting him to do the same thing as last year. He's not going to do that for y'all because y'all brought this dude as a third option. He's playing behind Maxey and Embiid.
Well, he should be, BJ. In games that Joel Embiid
No, he should not. No,
what you mean he should not?
Embiid, bro, Embiid, let me tell you about Embiid. Embiid, when he scores all these points, hold on. Embiid is not, when he scores all these points, bro, y'all are a worser team. Y'all are not better with Embiid this year doing all that bullshit. You guys y'all don't know how to play. Y'all don't know how to play basketball. Y'all don't understand chemistry. Everybody on that team, the Sixers, everybody has called Embiid out this year. Tyrese Maxey called him out. Kelly Oubre got into altercation on the bench with him. You got Shaquille O'Neal calling out, saying if you want to win a championship, you have to be serious. You have Paul George coming out of a postgame saying it's an adjustment play for him. Everybody has said the same thing about Embiid. He has been the reason y'all are in the position y'all are in.
Well,
that is the reason why you guys are inconsistent, because y'all best players inconsistent playing in games. That is the reason why y'all inconsistent. That's why y'all can't bring no chemistry together. Now, injuries have been affecting y'all as well. Y'all were going through a great stretch in December without Embiid there, and then players started getting injured. Jared McCain got injured. Caleb Martin got injured. KJ Martin got injured. Andre Drummond got injured. Multiple guys were out. It wasn't just Embiid.
I missed some of the. You hear me? I just want to make sure you hear me.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I missed some of what you said. I know you said something about he scored 30 points in a game. I missed some of the things you heard because I had to come back in. I had to leave and come back in. But I will say this. We're gonna have to agree to disagree. I think that Joel Embiid makes the team better. Not this season because he hasn't played all season. You have to, in order to build chemistry, he has to play. So obviously he hasn't played. He didn't even start the season because of his knee, yada yada yada. There's always something going on with Joel Embiid. But when the man is right, you can't tell me that he doesn't make the team better. But besides that, though, right? Since Joel Embiid hasn't been playing, and you talk about all these numerous injuries that we had throughout the year with Caleb Martin and Jared McCain and KJ Martin, and the list goes on. We had a lot of players hurt. What is inside PG? Like, why can't he put the team on his back a little bit more? Because he is going to be the second option without Joel Embiid, because Tyrese is going to be the first option. Why isn't he trying to do more? Why isn't he trying to be like, yo, I don't have Joel, I'm going to have to put up more shots. I don't have Caleb Martin, I'm going to have to step my game up on defense just a little bit more. Why is it the fact of since there's players that is hurt, he's not stepping his game up? Just like, for example, right? Just using Kobe Bryant, for example. If Shaq ain't playing, I promise you, if Shaq ain't playing and they need a little bit more, guess what Kobe's going to do? He's going to give you that little bit more. That's what I mean about the mindset. He don't got the it factor. He has the factor of, yo, in my opinion, he just got his money and he doesn't really want to play in Philly. That's how I look at it.
Brother. First off, let me go back to this Embiid press. I'm gonna give you about the whole Paul George not stepping up.
And nephew, let me real quick. Nephew, let me because I gotta jump out. Go do my show. But just on PG, just retire. Go ahead, do your podcast. Because me personally, I think he mentally tapped out. But on the Embiid, the Sixers problem, this is what I keep telling y'all too. I ain't mean hold up because I am ready to go. Y'all don't do this is what I keep telling you when they keep arguing me about this number one, number two shit. It shouldn't be no number one, number two. This shit should be by committee. It's team that wins the game. Now, yeah, you always gonna have that player that's better than the other players that's out there. But they got to start doing shit by committee. This 1-2 shit, because you gave this man $212 million to be number 3. Well, then if you gave him $200 million to be number 3, that motherfucker in the number 3 mindset. He don't give a fuck. And the number 3 guy is a guy who don't give a damn.
Thank you.
But so Big Tone
depends on your mindset. Depends on who you are, though. That's not true.
But you gave him the mindset. I'm number 3, so this shit is not on
any given night, though. Any given night.
No,
he can mess around be the number 1 option on any given night.
Right, but at worst, he should be a number 3 option at worst.
But you gave him $200 million for whatever the crazy ass reason to be number 3. And Paul George mindset, that's where he gonna stay, number 3.
Because he's the 3rd best player on the team, so that's why he's the 3rd best option.
I disagree with that, but okay.
Who's better? Who's he? Is he's better than Joel Embiid?
I'm not here to argue who he's better.
I'm not arguing. I'm just asking a question.
And I gotta let Breezy get into it, but go ahead, Big Tom.
No, I'm just closing in with this. You gave him $200 million, number 3, and that's what you get, a number 3 guy. So I'm gonna do my stream, man. I wish I really could stay because I first time on Nephew's channel. But I'm ready to go do my, and especially Breezy. I want to talk to Breezy, but we'll catch up. Man,
I'm mad I came late.
I
was on the Brooklyn Nets show just now. That's why
but we'll catch up, y'all. I appreciate you, nephew. I'll holler at y'all.
I know.
All right, Tom.
Okay, babe.
But he asked me about Embiid. First off, bro, Embiid's been there for 10 seasons. This man hasn't gotten y'all to no conference finals.
Facts.
This dude that y'all keep trying to claim and praise and king me and all this shit, man, he ain't done nothing to earn all this praise. The guy that you talking about this, that, and the other, the guy that's talking he's been to 3 conference finals.
BJ, what's the biggest award you can win?
Hold on, let me finish.
Can you answer that question for me?
Let me finish.
All right, go ahead.
This dude has not led y'all to no conference finals at all.
That's true.
I
agree.
For me personally, bro, like Paul George has accomplished more than Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid. The problem is with Paul George, and I will agree with you with this.
Longer.
No, that's not the point. In his first 3 seasons, Paul George already made to the conference finals twice.
Who do you have on his team?
Nobody. No stars on his team.
Man.
In Indiana,
when he made the conference finals?
Hold on. He had no stars on his team. He had no stars on his team. Going Glock for Glock with LeBron. That's who Paul George was in Indiana.
He was not. Yeah, he was not.
In OKC, he was all NBA first team top 5 and all NBA defensive first team top 5. Embiid's never done that. So Maxey, I like Maxey, but you Sixer fans, there's levels to this. Maxey ain't done shit other than just put up a bunch of points. He ain't led his team. Last year without Embiid, bro, y'all already had a losing record with Embiid, with Maxey being the number 1 option. Like I said, I like Maxey, but there's a lot of Maxies in the league that can score the basketball. LaMelo Ball, De'Aaron Fox, you know what I'm saying? All these 6'2", 6'3" miniature point guards, they can score and put up points. Can you rebound? Could you defend? Could you play make? His playmaking skills ain't all that. If you want,
you talking about Tyrese?
Jeremy McCain's a better point guard. Jeremy McCain's a better point guard.
Let me let Breezy get in real quick.
Go ahead, Breezy.
Yeah. What's good, Breezy? I know you're gonna pop your shit because y'all won.
Nah, man. I'm mad at y'all for being this bad, man. Y'all in the way, man. Y'all tanking. I'm tired of y'all getting all of these draft picks, man. Y'all got Ben Simmons, Embiid, Maxey, Fultz, Okafor. Y'all got all of these different draft capital in the recent history, and now y'all back trying to get another draft pick. Y'all just got McCain. Y'all
I know that is
greedy.
true.
Y'all greedy, man. Get out the way. The Brooklyn Nets didn't get a high draft pick, like a top 3 draft pick in like 20 seasons, man. Y'all in the way, bro. Like that ass, man. Y'all need to move around. Y'all taking all of the draft picks. Like fall back. Like fall back. Y'all wasn't competitive enough to have all of that draft capital, have all of that rebuilding, all of that process for y'all to do all of that and have all of that and not get Trey Young came to Atlanta and did more for Atlanta than with Embiid and Ben Simmons and all of y'all players that y'all got in the
True.
shortest span of time. So what I'm saying is other franchises did better with their draft capital than the 76ers. The 76ers continue to get good draft capital and not succeed far as a franchise getting the NBA championship or even the conference finals, bro, on a consistent basis. Like, no, bro, they in the way, bro. They need to let the Brooklyn Nets get that draft pick and let us rock. Let us show y'all what the NBA. Let the Brooklyn Nets show the NBA what we could do and why we should be one of those teams to talk about. Y'all supposed to be competing with the Knicks and the Celtics right now, bro. What the hell?
Hey,
What are y'all even doing here? Y'all shouldn't even be
hey,
where we at.
Hey, I agree with what's your name? I agree with him, man. Like when it comes down to it, like the history, like all these draft picks and like none of them like planning out. Ben Simmons was a dud. Markelle Fultz was a dud. He even went as far back as Jahlil Okafor. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, salute the Oak. You,
Word, man.
Great.
Mike,
I
you
agree
on mute?
with the other guy. He had some good points when they came. Huh?
Oh, you was on mute, but you good now.
Hello?
You can go. Mhm.
Oh, he had the other guy. He had some good points when it came to like Joel Embiid. Like he played. How many games did he miss compared to how many games he played in his career? Like he hasn't played that many games, and it's so unfortunate because we know when he's healthy, he's very talented. He's one of the best in the game when he's healthy, but the problem is he's never healthy. So, in order for the team, and I agree with your own, like to win a championship, you have to have team chemistry, and the only way you have team chemistry is if you all play together a certain amount of games every year. But if you're only playing like 20 games together in the whole year, you're not going to build team chemistry. You're not going to beat the top teams in the Eastern Conference to get to the finals. And I agree with that. But the one thing I disagree is like the whole Paul George thing, like the excuses. I just feel like it's a lot of excuses. But we're going to have to agree to disagree. I just think like if you are getting paid that amount of money, like if I was getting paid $211 million and I know that Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey isn't playing, and I'm on that court, even if I'm hurt and I'm on that court, I'm putting up more than 7 shots, bro. I'm putting up more than 7 shots, even if I'm breaking for chicken all game long. Trust and believe. I'm gonna be just shooting and gunning, and I'm gonna try to get the dub for my team. But I just feel like his mind isn't like in that like I don't know, man. It's just something about him. He's like passive. He's just like I don't know how to describe it, but he's just not the guy that has that it factor like Kobe Bryant or somebody of that caliber. But I know we paid him to be a third option, but at the same time, it's like if your first and second option ain't playing, I feel like you should ball out a little bit more. But I do agree with a lot of what y'all saying though. It sucks being a Sixer fan and losing this long. It sucks, man. And then we talking about drafting another player, and it's just like, what if it's another Markelle Fultz? What if Cooper Flag is another Ben Simmons? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm tired of that, man. I'm tired of tanking on purpose. You know what I mean? Develop what you got right now. Trade Paul George in the offseason. Trade Joel Embiid in the offseason and go from there and rebuild. Rebuild
Yeah.
that way. But I'm not trying to lose on purpose, though. I'm not doing
Y'all
that.
not losing. Y'all not losing on purpose. I don't know what this mind. I don't know why Why Sixer fans want to tank for Cooper Flag, bro? Y'all not
I
getting.
don't know why.
Y'all haven't even fallen down the standings far enough to get him. But the problem is, man, you guys. First off, y'all coach doesn't know how to scheme offensive
True.
schemes.
True.
Second of all, y'all been injured, man. Y'all been dealing with injuries. And I'm not just saying to the stars, to your role players. You've done missed a lot of role players this season. Those people are important. Those guys make it easier for the stars to be who they are, right? So you have to have your role players. When you guys were rolling in December, y'all were beating some good teams. Y'all are beating teams and y'all are competing, but, guys went down. I mean, that's all it really came down to. So, like I said, y'all beat the top teams in the East. Y'all beat Cleveland. Y'all beat Boston. Y'all compete against the Knicks twice. I mean, that's what y'all did. So you can't say like they're so bad or this, that, and the other, man. I just
No.
think they have to, like I said, with the whole PG, we got to agree to disagree, but there was a lot of games he played well in. It's just the fact
that's true.
It's just the
That's
fact
true.
It's just the fact that I ask Sixer fans all the time, like, what do y'all really want him to be? Like, what is it that y'all want? What y'all want him to average? What y'all want him to do? Like last night, okay, want him to put up more
20.
shots.
How about that?
Huh?
20. How about that?
Okay, you got to tell me the guys in the league that's doing it as a third option, Andre. You got to tell
told
me.
you Porzingis did it last year.
I'm saying this year. And Mikal Bridges averaging 17 points, bro. There's no third options in the league giving you 20 a game.
PJ, it's more than what PG's giving you. Come on.
PG's giving you just not offense. He's giving you deep. That's another thing I want to tell you.
And so is Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges is guarding the other team's best
He's been y'all best defensive player this year, by far. He's been y'all best defensive player.
He's been really good on defense. But what I'm trying to say, and I'm trying to get you to understand, like, I understand we brought him in for the third option, but I keep on saying that you don't have to be, like, for instance, right? Tyrese Maxey could be the third option. Joel Embiid could be the third option. He don't have to be the third option, especially if Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey ain't playing. And even if they are playing, he could still be the first option on some nights and just shoot the dang on ball and be more like what I noticed is, like, he's not beating nobody off the dribble, and that's probably injuries. But even with the Clippers, he wasn't really beating people off the dribble like that. He's just shooting the midi, shooting the three, and if he makes it, cool. If he doesn't, his numbers just look bad. Like, he doesn't really have no offensive game, just a step back midi. It's nothing. But I will say he is a good passer. That's one thing I liked earlier in the year. He was setting up his teammates, giving them good assists. But it's another thing. Yeah, like Yabusele, Kelly Oubre Jr., they outplaying Paul George overall. For the whole season, in my opinion, Kelly Oubre Jr. and Yabusele has been playing better than PG consistently all year. Not just one game putting up 30 points. Not just one game putting up 25 points. Look up Kelly Oubre Jr.'s numbers these last few games. He's giving you a double-double, and even some of the stuff that's not in the box score, man. He's playing great on defense as well. Same with Yabusele. So, honestly, Paul George is getting paid like a max player, but really, he's playing like the fifth best player on the team a lot of the times, in my opinion.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's basically, like I said, man. First off, Kelly Oubre, yes, I like his aggressiveness.
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
I hear you, bro.
I said, basically, the thing about you also got to remember, too, like, Kelly Oubre is not asked to do as many things. Like, you're asking Paul George to be your best defender, your best playmaker, and won't be one of your best scorers. So, Oubre, guys like that, Jared Butler, and, Quentin Grimes, Yabusele, they're not asked to do as many things on the court. So he's not only, people got to stop looking at just the points. They got to look at
I'm not just talking about the points.
Even
what else did he do? What did he do? What did he do to make his team better yesterday? Or the game that he scored 9 points
against Miami?
I forgot what game it was, but then there was a couple times he scored like 14, 12 points. Like, what is he doing? Like, defensively, I'm not paying someone 211 points just to give me some good defense. Like, I need more offensively. I need more, bro. Like, I can't, like, especially if Joel Embiid is not playing. Why can't he average 20 points without Joel Embiid playing? What's the issue with that? That's all I'm asking.
He's been doing that. Before the
no,
injuries,
he has not.
Before the injuries, bro, without the injuries, before these injuries started, bro, I just named the games. You want me to name them again? all the games he done had without Embiid on court, he was doing that. When he played all against the Knicks, they had 25. He played against Sacramento, he had 30. Against Orlando, he had 25 against that. When it's unfortunate, but he's had injuries where he had to come back and ramp up. He's hyperextended his leg 2 separate times, and now his hand injury. It's been unfortunate, but when he's playing and when he's healthy, he has played well with Maxey. I don't know if Andre can actually look up the games. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I'm listening, bro.
I don't know if Andre can pull it up, but go and look at the game log when Embiid isn't playing what Paul George does. He's efficient from the field. Hell, even look at the games before he hurt his hand. He had 30 against Cleveland. He's not coming back from injuries. More times than not, he's played well with just Maxey. Y'all just been losing games, close games.
Yeah, that's true. So
role players.
That's true. I agree with that. There is spots in the season where he looks good.
Obviously hurt his hand. I don't know. I mean, there's obviously something with his hand or something that's bothering him. But before that, bro, he was actually doing really good.
He was doing good beginning of the season. You know, I mean, he was doing some things, you know. But I don't know, man. I just feel like it's too spread out for me.
Can y'all see the screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I see the screen.
All right, so it says Paul George has averaged 18, 5, and 5 in 19 games without Joel Embiid this season.
So look at the games. Look at this. Look at the game by game. Phoenix and LA. Those minutes restriction games. Lakers minutes restriction game. Charlotte. Go back. The first 3 games were all minutes restriction games, right? I remember that Clipper game. He killed us. And if he had stayed on the court longer, he probably would have had 30 that game. But that was a minutes restriction game. Lakers was minutes restriction game. Charlotte, he had 30 minutes in that game. Then Detroit.
That ain't saying much, bro.
But you want to talk about
He said Charlotte like they're a good team.
Hold on. See, that's what I'm saying. You want to talk about Brooklyn last night, who was worse than Charlotte. But
that's my point. Yeah, look, I'm gonna say this.
The Brooklyn Nets then.
That's what I'm saying. The reason why we're talking about the Brooklyn Nets because they just played the Brooklyn Nets and there was no Tyrese or Joel, and the man played 37 minutes and gave you 2 points. That's why we talking about the Nets, bro.
Okay.
But you talking about the Charlotte Hornets like they like a world beater. They're the worst team in the dang old NBA.
I'm gonna keep going. Look at the other games. Look at the other games right after Charlotte. Yeah, Detroit. You got Charlotte again. You got Orlando. You got Charlotte. You got Cleveland. Sacramento. This is when he starts going on a roll. Charlotte. Was Sacramento, Phoenix, New Orleans, Orlando.
New York.
25.
Yeah, he was in his bag. He was in his bag right there. And those 3 games right there. He was definitely in his bag against New York Knicks, the Magic, and the the Pelicans?
Pelicans, Cleveland, like those teams are all better than the team that he had 2 points in. So that's why that's the only reason I'm saying, bro. When you look at that against better teams, how do you explain that he played better against better teams, but he played like that against a bottom-feeding tanking team last night?
Honestly, I can't. I don't even know how to explain that. I can't explain that. I would think you would put better numbers up against these suckier teams, but he did play good against Cleveland. He played excellent against Cleveland. He played okay against Denver. Then he played good against the Knicks, Orlando. Phoenix, he didn't have the best game. What's the game after that? Sacramento Kings played good. Cleveland, he didn't play the best.
Right.
That stretch right there, he played really good, though. Like those 10 games or whatever.
But you see a lot of 30s, 25s, 27s. You see a lot of great games, but he doesn't show up when Embiid's not there. So I don't know, bro. I don't know.
So if you're wide open, right? Because even though Joel Embiid's playing on one leg, right? Yeah. And he's not the typical Joel Embiid. He's not MVP Joel Embiid. We know that. and he's getting double teamed, and he's getting wide open threes. How is it still that he's bricking for chicken, though? It's like, how is he not better? I understand you say, like, the ball movement, but it's just like you're wide open for shots, though, man. Like, I don't understand it. I don't understand how he's not shooting a higher percentage when Joel Embiid. But that's a problem, though. If Joel Embiid is supposed to be your best player, he ain't the best player on the team anymore. I think it's Tyrese, but and he comes back and everybody's the chemistry's off. I don't know, man. It sucks, man. Being a Sixer fan we're not in a good spot right now.
Embiid, I'm be honest with you. Embiid's a great talent, man, but he has to learn to sacrifice for his teammates. Like our guy's Kawhi. Kawhi was with PG for 5 years, bro. Like if Kawhi, there's the reason why. If you want to be real with you, PG carried us through the season, scoring, and the reason why he did that is because Kawhi allowed him to play his game. He allowed him to be himself. You know what I'm saying? Embiid, he seems to me take away, like he wants to take all the shots. He wants to have all the attention. Like he don't want to share with his teammates. That's why I kind of see like Kawhi and Embiid are kind of the same. They both deal with injuries. Like if Kawhi is really hurt.
But BJ, without Embiid, if Paul George just last night just did not want to be aggressive, what do you think Embiid would think? Maybe you don't want the shots, so I might as well take the shots because you don't want to take the shots.
Bro, I'm telling you, last night was an anomaly, bro.
No, it wasn't.
He's literally and look at the last 5 games he's even played since this injury. You can clearly tell he ain't said nothing until last night. And Porter asked him, "Hey, is it just an opportunity for you to get your body right?" He ain't said a word. He ain't, because if he would make excuses, but they asked him a question. What is he supposed to do?
So what you're saying is the reason why he's playing the way he's playing. Let's put Joel Embiid out the conversation real quick. The reason why Paul George is playing the way he's playing is because he's hurt still. He's not really saying too much. Is that what you're saying? Pretty much, he's better than what he's showing on the court right now. And the reason why he's not putting up the numbers is because he's hurt.
Because look at the games. Look at the games. And I'm only going by. I'm not in his body. I'm just going off of what I feel as a hooper. I've been there because for whatever reason, there's a narrative attached to him that he talks too much. All right. So if he hears that and he's hurt, he's playing through the injury. If he don't step out there, he's weak. He don't want to play. But if he does step out there and he plays like shit, he needs to play better. So he's in a lose-lose situation. But if you ask him a question, hey, what's going on? He's gonna be honest with you. He's not gonna lie. And for whatever reason, that makes people think that's making excuses.
But the thing about it, when you're on that court, they don't care about none of that injury stuff. You feel me? Like even with Joel Embiid with the biggest behind brace, knee brace on, they don't show no mercy to Joel Embiid. They still driving in the lane, and Joel Embiid still putting up 20-something points when he plays. So when you get on that court, when you lace up them sneakers, the excuses is out the door. You know what I mean? So it's just like if you hurt and you really hurt, you might as well just miss the games, because as soon as you on that court, we not like, because I guess it's the old school mentality, right? Like Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and all them. Like their mindsets, if my finger is broken, take that stuff up, do what you got to do. I'm gonna get back in the game. I'm gonna ball out. We're not using that excuse. When you on that court, it can't be no excuses. I understand what you're saying, though. We're not in his body. We don't know how this man's really feeling. But for him to not shoot more than 7 times, knowing that we needed him to shoot more. I'm just talking about the Nets game specifically. He was up and down throughout this season. He was balling. You right. He was balling in spots of the season. But against the Nets, bro, they're not that good of a team. So like you said, nothing to be fair. You can't Nick Claxton, I mean, he's a shot blocker, but come on, bro. You putting up 7 shots up, that's it. Yeah. It's like you could at least put up 20 shots, Paul George. You're the number 1 option tonight. Let's go.
And see, that's a good point you can make. And the thing about him, he's not. I think that's what people keep trying to compare him to is Kobe. Because I know,
right.
That era too, like Kobe can go 6 for 30, 6 for 40, put up 30 or 40 shots, and that's somehow more respectable than a player that's choosing to not force the issue. Like that's who Paul don't really force the issue. Like, he ain't gonna take. He takes tough shots, but he ain't gonna go out there. You don't see too many games where he's shooting like 25, 30 shots, like gunning. Like, he's never been that type of player. Like, he's always been a guy that's gonna pick his spots where he's gonna, score. But that looks bad if you shoot inefficient and you shoot less shots.
And I agree. And you know what I think it is, to keep it real with you, because the hopes in Philadelphia was so high with the Sixers, with the so-called Big Three. I think this might be the worst Big Three in NBA history, possibly. You know what I mean? But, you know what I mean? The hopes was so high in Philly, and to see what's happening right now, I feel like this. What we was expecting, because, I like Paul George, especially I think about the peak of Paul George's career was with the Thunder, in my opinion. And I think he could have won MVP. And I think he averaged like 28 points one of those years with the Thunder. And I'm not saying he's going to be that, you know what I mean? But we just want a player, Sixer fan. I think I'm speaking for a lot of Sixer fans. We want a player that's going to be like, yo, give me the damn ball, move to the side, and let me cook these dudes. We want a Kevin Durant, like someone that's going to just be like, yo, I'm going to destroy anybody that's in my way. Just give me the ball, move to the side, and let me go score 30 points and get us this dub. And he's not that type of player. You know what I'm saying? So we want something that he's not, and I guess that's kind of our fault as a fan base, because we expected him to do that because he's getting paid like that type of player, but he's not that type of player. So we're kind of like, dang. So not only this man ain't that type of player, he's getting paid all this money, and we can't use that money to get other players because we gave all the money to him. We can't pay other players all like that because we paid him $211. We paid Joel Embiid $200 million. We paid Tyrese Maxey $200 million. So all our money, how you going to get a lot of good role players? We're lucky to have Yabusele and Kelly and draft McCain, but McCain's out for the season. But it's like, I don't know, man. It's just a sucky situation for us Sixer fans, man, because we want to do good, but it's just like every time we go on a roll, it seems like we go backwards. And then when you have a player of Joel Embiid's caliber, he can't even play back-to-backs, man. How are you supposed to get chemistry if you can't play back-to-backs? How are you supposed to be a champion? I mean, I know in the playoffs there's not no back-to-back games, but it's like, dang, bro. Like, so I understand, like, where y'all coming from and about Paul George. But at the same time, we just like, bro, come on, man. You got to do a little bit more, bro. Just a little bit more, especially when you don't got the other dudes. We had Edwards. Who was the starting five? I can't even remember the starting five, bro.
It was Grimes, Jared Butler, Paul George, Kelly Oubre, and I think Yabusele.
And Yabusele, man. I don't know, man.
But I
do agree with y'all, though. I do agree with you and Onk. I just be like, I just don't want to hear no excuses, though. Like, when you on that court, bro, you got to play, bro. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. I just want to address this. We brought PG here to be the third option. No, number one, we didn't just bring him here to be the third option. We're just saying on any given night, at worst, you should be at least a third option. You could be the first option on any given night. I mean, you can get it going, and guess what? Embiid will take a backseat, Maxey will take a backseat, and guess what? They'll let you cook. And I've seen that happen before. We've seen that happen before. So we're not just paying him to be a third option. That should be his mindset. Even in games where Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey are not playing, he should still be a third option, because last night was very, very terrible. So that you just paid him to be a third option. That's just not true. On any given night. Yeah. On any given, at worst, we expect you to be the third option, especially when Embiid and Maxey get it going. But at worst, you should be a third option. At best, you can be the first option because PG has that talent. But the mindset, I mean, last night just proved that the mindset was just not there. He didn't want to be aggressive. He didn't have the will to actually try to be physical with this team and establish himself as a dominant force. He just didn't want to have anything to do with the defense, and that's what I'm sticking with. And
what defense, Andre? What defense, Andre? They're one of the worst defense in the league. What defense?
BJ, Trent Watford, and those other guys stepped in front of him. Zaire Williams and Keon Johnson. Keon Johnson played for the Clippers, by the way. They stepped in front of him, and PG, every time they bumped him a little bit, guess what? He gave the ball up. He didn't want no smoke with those guys.
That's the problem. Man, that's the problem, though. He's not the guy we thought. He's not the guy we want him to be. We got to understand it. And that's what I don't know your name, brother. Clippers fan. DJ. I like what his point is, and I'm getting what he's saying. He's not He's not that type of player that we want him to be. He's not that type of player. He's a player that's kind of like, I don't know, passive. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but he's not the type of player we want him. He's not a Jimmy Butler in the playoffs. He's not the go-get-it type player consistently. He can go do it in spots. Don't get it twisted. But he's not the type of player like what we want him to be. You know what I mean? That's how
he's not a mean player. That's what y'all want, somebody that's a mean, but that's fine, but doesn't mean he's better. Like, I think he's better than Jimmy Butler. If you look at this whole career, like, Jimmy Butler ain't done what PG has done. If you look at his whole career, what he's done, he hasn't done what Paul George done.
Yeah, regular season, I give Paul George. Postseason, I give Jimmy buckets, man.
I think
postseason, I give it Jimmy.
I think postseason even Paul, because really the thing about it is Jimmy Butler only became relevant in Miami, man. What was he doing in Chicago?
The point that he did it.
What was he? But again, that's recency. If you look at his entire career, Paul George has been in the playoffs every year. He was in the playoffs in Indiana. He took his team to the conference finals twice. He came with the Clippers, took us to our only conference finals when Kawhi got hurt.
And
did he get to the finals?
Jimmy took the.
No, he didn't get. He faced the Miami Heat in the finals or in the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm just saying, as far as memorable performances in the playoffs, as far as memorable performances in the playoffs, Paul George, I can name more than Jimmy Butler. What iconic moments can you really know for Jimmy Butler in the playoffs?
He got a Miami Heat team in the finals with a whole bunch of G League players, bro. They wasn't no real Caleb Martin. I can't think of the whole lineup, but I know there wasn't no big names.
I can give you
outside of Miami. What has he done in the playoffs?
But he done more in that short period of time than what Paul George did in his whole career in the playoffs.
No, he has not, bro.
He got his team to the finals.
You understand the player he was going Glock for Glock with was arguably the greatest player of all time in LeBron James. In his peak. Do you understand what Paul George had? He was on the rise to be the best player in the league. Jimmy Butler was never that, bro. Jimmy Butler is a guy who came into the league with low expectations, who did the most with his least of his talent. You know what the real thing is? Because how gifted Paul George is, people raise the bar for him. That's the real truth. They expect this dude, he has a bad night, or he has a bad nights or bad stretch, whatever the hell it is. They look at him being 6'9", he can do everything on the court. He's just that. They raise the bar for him. That's the real truth. Because if you look at his entire career, what he's done, there's no way in the world you're going to say Jimmy Butler's done more than him. No way.
In the playoffs. Now listen. Look up the numbers in the playoffs, and I promise, I almost guarantee you that his numbers are better than Paul George's numbers in the playoffs. I bet you he scores way more. Well, I don't say way more, but I know he scores more than PG in the playoffs. Even with the Pacers days and the Clippers and the Thunder, whatever team he was on, whatever period of time you want to put up against Jimmy Butler's short little period of time with the Miami Heat, I'm almost guarantee you Jimmy Butler's numbers are better than him when it counts the most. You can put the numbers up, DFJ. We can put the numbers side by side in the playoffs. I almost guarantee. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I might be wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. But if you're talking about the whole career, bro,
you're talking
about the whole career, you know what I mean? I think Paul George definitely, you know what I mean, accomplished more probably. But when it comes to like playoff ball, when it counts the most, nah, I don't think so. Even though he did go head to head with LeBron, and I understand, but he still didn't get to the finals.
Right. Yeah, BJ Cap, I mean, Jimmy Butler, what we saw just in 2023 alone, that run right there where he was the 8th seed, right? Paul George was always the top seeds, and when he was going up against LeBron, he was the top seeds, right? First, second, or third. But Jimmy Butler as an 8th seed going through a gauntlet, the Celtics, the Milwaukee Bucks, like, bro, come on, man. Now, career-wise, obviously Paul George, but in the playoffs, I don't see how Jimmy Butler is the. But Mike, I want to get your thoughts on the game. I mean, I know you went off on Paul George, but I mean, what you think of the other guys? And I gotta get ready to close out anyway.
Yeah. What's my thoughts on what again?
What was how did you feel about how the other players play? How the other guys that stepped up trying to get this victory, but came up short?
I mean, you know who I really like? I love Justin Edwards, man. Like, I think Justin Edwards is a straight hooper, man. Like, he does all the little things, the hustle plays. He plays good defense. I like him a lot, man. I think Kelly, he had a solid game. Yabusele was all right. Adem Bona, he had a couple of hustle plays. Andre Drummond, I'm not a big fan of. Who else? Who else got some good meaningful? Grimes. I think Grimes had a terrific game. Grimes and Butler. Jared Butler had a pretty good game as well, I think. But you know, I just feel like this team just lost the heart to win, man. I just feel like the team, we just had to kind of start over. You know what I mean? And I didn't mean to get loud with the people that was on. I was just saying I just don't understand like how we giving this dude so many excuses when if you're getting paid the big bucks, it's kind of like a doctor. If the doctor's doing surgery and you have nurses in the surgery room as well, who's going to be more responsible for if something goes wrong? The doctor or the nurses? It's going to be the doctor. You know what I'm saying? Same with basketball. It's like if he's paid the most and he's the number one option on the team, like playing against the Nets, bro, you got to do more than 2. That's like you didn't even try, bro. That's like you didn't even try. And it's just like, I just hate the fact that people just giving this man so many excuses when it comes to the injury factor. Yes, if you on that court and you're injured, you playing through it, I respect it. But he got to do more than 2 points, bro. He got to do at least 10. Like, I don't know. He got to do a little bit more, bro. It's just the mindset thing. And like what you were saying, what I was trying to like explain to the brothers is it's not about our third option or like that. He's the third option if Joel Embiid's doing his thing and Tyrese Maxey's doing his thing. Paul George could easily be the number one option on any given night if he's hot. And like you said, they'll let him have his turn and do his thing. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
That's absolutely true. And I was about to say something, but I just forgot. BJ just popped right back in. I'm getting ready to close out. Yeah, you getting loud. I mean, that's fine. I mean, trust me, I've been in like shouting matches with them, and it's not anything personal. It's just we get.
I just don't want them to take it personal. I don't want them to I respect them. I don't even know who they are, but I respect who they are. I was just like, I'm just real passionate about the Sixers, but you know, I'm just saying, I just don't understand how people giving this dude excuses for 2 points. Me and you can do that, I think. I'm talking about at least scoring 2 points.
DJ got the California bias, that's why.
Yeah, he loves Paul. I could tell he loves Paul George. Like, it ain't nothing wrong with that.
I'm a Kawhi, PG, my guys. I love all of them. I'm just saying, like,
yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm an Allen Iverson guy. I'm sticking up for AI no matter what. It is what it is.
That's what it is.
It's more so, like I say, like I just think personally. Let me ask you a question. Do you think Maxey is the guy to carry this team? Like, as far as if you get off of Paul George and Embiid,
it depends on what we get back. You know what I mean? After that Luka trade, this is my dream case scenario, y'all. Hear me out real quick, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And look, and I know this bull injury prone, but I would love to have him in the Sixer uniform, bro. I want LaMelo Ball, bro. Anything is possible. Go trade Jared McCain. Go trade Paul George's contract. Go give me LaMelo Ball to put next to Tyrese Maxey, and let's build around LaMelo Ball and Tyrese Maxey, bro. I don't know about the defense. I don't know how good the defense going to be, but and I have Tyrese Maxey play the 2, have LaMelo play the 1, and let's see what happens. I don't know. But Tyrese Maxey, in my opinion, can he be the number one option if we trade Joel and PG? It depends on what I think he can, but you have to build around him. It has to be perfectly built around him, and I don't know. Honestly, in my opinion, how I look at basketball, I feel like I still got the old school mentality. You build around a center, like a caliber of a Joel or a Jokic. I mean, Joel, I guess we can't put him in the conversation right now, but like a Jokic, or you build around, or Victor Wembanyama, or you build around a wing player. like a Leonard or somebody, a Leonard or like a Paul George in his prime. You get what I'm saying? So when it comes to the point guard, like Jalen Brunson, I'm a big Jalen Brunson guy. But they got a lot of wings now. OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, like they got wings and all that, so it works out. But I'm not a point guard. I'm not building. I don't think a point guard. Well, then again, Luka is a point guard, but he's a hybrid. He's 6'9" though. Like it's different. You get what I'm saying? Like you can't build around a 6'2" guard and have him as your number one option. That's just my opinion, though. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion.
That's why I asked about Maxey, because that's why I say it'll be hard to build around Maxey, because he's a great scorer and he's an improved defender. Like I actually, my school, me and him, I actually played basketball in Texas, and Maxey's from the same city I'm from, so I know Maxey personally. He went to, so I got love for him. But I told Andres, I said, you can't build around that. We ain't seen a point guard be the best player on the championship team outside of Steph Curry the last 25, 30 years. Yeah. Even AI, the great Allen Iverson, my favorite player growing up, I used to hate the Lakers because of this nigga. And I was like rooting for AI. I was rooting for the Sixers in that series so bad, but I was really like, man, Kobe and Shaq are just too much. It's too much. They had all that defense around them, all the defensive guys, made them as comfortable as possible. It's just not going to be enough.
You got to have a wing. I feel like you have to have a wing as your main player. Most of these teams have that wing. Or you have that center like Victor Wembanyama or Jokic. Because I feel like, because people try to make it seem like you can't build around a center. I think it depends on what type of center you have. It's not the old school back you down. They can't shoot a midi. They can't shoot the three. Every center can shoot the three, bro. Every center pretty much. Like, I think it stopped like with Dirk Nowitzki. What's another good center? Rasheed Wallace. Even KG started shooting threes. You know what I mean? He didn't shoot many. He shot threes. Tim Duncan shot threes somewhat. You know what I mean? You got to be able to shoot the three if you're playing the center in the modern day basketball. But I feel like for me, I guess I'm just old school. I just like I think you could build around the wing. That's probably the number one, like a Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant type player. But I feel like the center, you can still do that too. You just have to have the right center that's not injury prone, like a Joel Embiid. You got to have like a Jokic or Victor Wembanyama or someone of that caliber that's not injured all the dang on time. So
I'm gonna tell you this before I leave though. I'm actually happy he went to Philadelphia because, see, we out here on the West Coast, we got a different vibe from the East Coast. So I know Philly fans are passionate. I'm an Eagle fan. So my thing was, see, the thing about Paul is, naturally, he's not a confrontational person, but I've seen him get upset. I've seen him get angry. I've seen him get mad. And that's when you have to kind of turn him up. And I think, based off how the Philly fans are, they can bring that out of him. Because I've seen it up close. But he ain't going to be the one to, initiate it. You're going to have to bring it out of him. That's as honest as I can be. That's as honest as I can be. Yeah.
We need that. We want to see that. See, that's the thing about us Sixer fans or Philly fans. Like, we want to see the screaming at the crowd and yelling at the team. We want to see passionate, like you care. It seems like he's like nonchalant, like, oh, I'm gonna put this jersey on and I'm gonna go out there and just play. You know what I mean? We want you to show that you really care. You know what I mean? And I think that's why a lot of Sixer fans is like, yo, we gotta get rid of this dude. You know what I mean? But and like you said, like you said earlier, it could be the injuries, but we can't. But once you're on that dang on court, that shit don't mean nothing, bro. Joel Embiid limping up and down the dang on court, bro. Like, it is what it is. You get on that court, it is what it is, bro. It's unfortunate. Us fans should appreciate that more, but we not looking at that. We like, man, we want to win. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got it. It is what it is, man.
That's fair. But hey, man, great talking to you, Mike, Andre, man. Y'all have a great day. I really appreciate the conversation. It was really good. I'll be back on again.
Definitely. All right, brother, man. All right, DFJ. You.
Oh, I was on mute. My bad. But yeah, BJ.
All right, bro.
stopping by. Appreciate you, Mike. Hey, you got an upcoming show, bro? Gotta stop
Uh,
by.
I don't. You know what though? You know what's? I don't even know, man. I'll be like, I might go live on the All-Star break. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not really sure, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I ain't gonna lie. I'm a little bit tired talking about what's going on with the Sixers right now. But I just want to say this one last thing real quick, man. I agree with what's his name, BJ, when it comes to like the last guy. I don't know, the Nets fan. He was like, y'all keep getting all the picks, but the problem is we picking the wrong dudes. You know what I'm saying? We getting the picks, we picking the wrong dudes. But it's so much deeper than just getting picks. It's developing and knowing what type of person you're picking. You know what I mean? We picked number 1 first overall. Was it 2 straight years?
Right, 16 and 17. Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's like, and we didn't pick the right guys. Well, we could have picked the Jason Tatum. We could have picked the Jaylen Brown, or we could have picked the Brandon Ingram. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like we just picking the wrong guys. So that's why we keep on being bad. But another thing that he was saying is, I don't want to like. If we gonna lose, I just want to naturally lose. I don't want to just be like, yo, as much as I do want to say sit down, Joel Embiid, it's not really me sitting him down because I just want to lose and get a top pick. I want him to sit down so we can have trade value to trade him in the off season. So he can get a surgery now, get it out the way, and then they can be like, instead of him playing this whole season, we get knocked out in the first round, and then what? Then he has to get surgery. And then how are you supposed to trade someone that just got surgery? Right. And get a lot back for him. That's how I'm thinking. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's all, bro.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but yeah, you definitely need to take that break, man. Use the All-Star break to get away from the Sixers.
I know, bro.
It's been stressful these last few months. So, but yeah, appreciate you, Mike.
No problem, bro. No problem, bro. Have a good day, brother. God bless everybody that's in the chat. God bless you, DFJ. God bless everybody that I was talking to. Hope the best. Be safe. And I'm out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh man, this really got heated. Salute to BJ for stopping by. Salute to Big Tone. Salute to my guy Mike Sports Vibes. Y'all can go sub to him. He's everything Philly but the Eagles, right? He's a Vikings fan. So yeah, he's really having a tough time as a Philly sports fan because he don't get to celebrate with us as we go to Broad Street tomorrow to celebrate the Super Bowl win. He doesn't get to do that, but but I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And Mike, just like I said, I mean, we get passionate, we get loud, we get in shouting matches, whatnot, but it's not personal, it's just basketball at the end of the day. So but appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all. Salute to my guy, YNW Luda Mari, T Sweezy, a Boston Celtics content creator. He says if he got a channel, I'll sub. Yeah, he got 2 channels. He got one. He got Mike Sports Vibes and then Mike Sports Vibes Ballin'. So he got 2 channels. So yeah, y'all can go look that up. Mike Sports Vibes. Yeah, that's the channel. And then Big Tone, which I think y'all sub to Big Tone channel already. The Polar Basketball Podcast, y'all sub to that channel already. So yeah, go check those channels out. Show your support. If you can donate to those channels, donate to them. Show your support. We all supporting each other. So yeah, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. Peace.